Hi everyone, we are Team 3 and I'm Kona. Today we are gonna present the Abibas Child Labor Crisis Plan. And this is our table of content. And here comes to our introduction part. The name of the brand is called the Abibas. It's a globally recognized sport brand. It's facing a crisis after report exposed its supplies foundry in country B for using child labors. And the company are facing the moral violation, loss of trust, legal risks, and competitive threats and global impact. So the objectives of the company should be protect reputation, take actions, and restore consumer trust. So here comes the company's key public, which is their stakeholders. It includes consumers, employees, investors, government, suppliers, and human rights organizations and media. So the things are also important is the response timing and apology. Abibas is not in moral high ground position, so the company must respond promptly, and the official statement should be released within 24 hours. And the apology, since the mistake was made by the third-party contractor, Abibas issued a partial apology, expressing its failure in the supervising process. So here comes the action parts. For the control damage part, we have two sections, is the communication and finance. For communication, the company should release an official statement to clarify Abibas' stance, emphasizing its commitment to human rights and fair labor while firmly opposing illegal child labor, and so on. Guys can take a look. And the finance part is seek the compensation from the terminated partner, pursue claims for damage resulting from the contract termination to alleviate financial pressure, and so on. You guys can take a quick look. And this comes to the rebuild trust part. It includes the contract to implicate supplier immediately, demand an explanation, and conduct a through supply chain audit to ensure no similar relocation exists elsewhere, and so on. You guys can take a quick look. And the final part is to protect the reputation of the company. In the long term, protecting Abibas' reputation will require consistent, transparent communication and proactive activities. Regular updates on the improvement within the supply chain should be shared to restore public confidence. And the company also should launch a global child rights protection program and potentially to collaborate with the organizations such as UNICEF and so such organization like that. It will not only address immediate crisis, but also help to rebuild a positive, responsible image for the future.
Anoyan, now I will walk you through Abibas' crisis communication structure and media spokesperson for addressing the child labor incident in Country B. The crisis communication team consists of 6 parts. The general manager serves as the ultimate authority, coordinating with original equipment manufacturers and assigning cross-departmental responsibilities. The operation manager leads the critical actions. First, investigate supply chain for child labor violations. Second, terminate non-compliant suppliers. Implement stricter review standards. Third, verify incident details with PR, legal, HR for accurate media statements, including when, where, why, and how the child labor was discovered. Fourth, support affected children, such as financial compensation or educational assistance to help the children child labor return to school. Finally, secure alternative suppliers, optimize production post-crisis. Next, let's move to the crisis manager actions. First, develop crisis strategy, outlining key messages such as the company's position in the incident, measures taken, and future improvement plans. Second, issue regret statement with corrective actions. Third, hold press conference for transparency. And fourth, communicate with stakeholders externally, send emails or letters to explain the background of the incident and the company's response to consumers and investors. Internally, hold an internal meeting to communicate company's position and action plan to employees. And then, legal advisor ensures all actions meet international and local legal standards, identifies and mitigates legal risk and international relations, maintains global partnerships, safeguards brand reputation worldwide. Consumer hotline addresses public concerns and checks sentiment and reports to crisis team. Then our team chooses 3 persons as the media spokesperson. First is general manager, serves as final decision maker, represents brand commitments and ensures public confidence. And second one is crisis manager, leads media communications, guarantees accurate message, and prevents misinformation. And the third one is legal advisor, handles legal inquiries and makes crisis decisions. That's all for the crisis communication structure and media spokesperson.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia. For the list of pre-gathered information, we have compiled 5 parts. This is a crucial component referring to the key information and resources that are organized in advance of a crisis so that they can be quickly called upon when a crisis breaks out, avoiding delays in response efficiency due to ad hoc collection of information. So the first part is information on supply chain and production system. We need to know the complete information on the factory involved in country B, such as the address, person in charge, and contact information. Also, we need to find out our product lines and sales regions served by this factory. Then we prepare the latest third-party labor rights audit reports and the employee roster and age verification records. The second part is legal compliance and responsibility documents. We have summary of local labor laws in country B, including legal minimum working age, and so on. We have our public commitment documents too. Another important document should be our evidence prepared for legal exemption. The next part is about stakeholders. We have the contact information of international media and journalists, as well as the list of ESG experts and KOLs we have worked with for crisis endorsement. We'll keep connect with the Labor Department of Country B and some international human rights organizations. Most importantly, connect our investors and clients to inform them any incident happened. Then we had some crisis communication materials such as the statement template and some preset answers to prepare for the FAQ session. The last part goes to logistic and implementation support. We have professional team monitoring on social media and controlling the spread of negative posts that will damage our brand image in time. We also have a list of alternative suppliers to choose from in case of any circumstances. Logistic contingency plan matters too. And finally, we prepared plenty of localized execution resources, including trusted third-party investigators, local legal consult team, and professional translation team in country B. By efficiently calling on the above pre-gathered information, we can quickly avoid taking responsibility and issue substantial remedies to minimize damage to the brand reputation. That's all for the pre-gathered information part. My teammates will introduce our key messages.
Hi, I'm Malia. In this part, I would like to share our key messages in the communication strategy. In addressing the issue of child labor, the safety and welfare of the children will be our first and foremost concern. We will make sure that the following points are expressed throughout the events of the crisis. Firstly, the safety and welfare of children are our primary concerns. We are taking necessary precautions, suspending partnership with involved suppliers, and launching an independent investigation to hold all responsible parties accountable, ensuring children are placed in safe environments. And we will keep the public informed of any new information as it arises. Employee safety remains a key focus. And the last, we have trained and prepared for such incidents, taking appropriate measures to mitigate the impact. To effectively communicate our messages, we will utilize several channels. The first one is media. It is necessary to hold a global press conference immediately with our planned media spokesperson, crisis manager, delivering our key messages, and arrange for the media spokesperson to be interviewed by both local and internationally recognized media outlets such as RTHK, CNN, Reuters, and Bloomberg, and several specialized magazines and online platforms to release reports. Other than that, we will create a dedicated crisis response page on our official website, provide detailed updates, ensuring that information is centralized and easily accessible. For social media, we will use Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to post real-time updates and respond to public concerns, and to clarify misunderstanding properly and manage public opinion. Apart from that, set up an interactive session, such as open mailboxes, to gather public opinions and suggestions, demonstrating our commitment to listening to feedback. And also use phone calls and instant messaging tools for quick communication with key stakeholders like clients and partners. Internal communication. We will use the company intranet and emails to communicate internal information and updates to our employees, ensuring they are aware of the company's stance and corrective actions. And secondly, our crisis manager will issue an open letter, emphasize the importance of employees and encouraging them to be advocates for the company. Overall, we will navigate this situation with transparency and dedication, ensuring that everyone stays informed every step of the way.
Hello everyone, this is Maggie. Next, I will introduce our communication content and the timeline. With our customers, we will publicly apologize and acknowledge the lack of regulatory oversight, hold production at the factory, and stop cooperation with involved supplier. We want to make it clear that we have a zero-tolerance attitude on child labor and will regularly update the public on our investigation progress and corrective measures. We'll also highlight our brand's long-term social responsibility efforts, including our foundation and initiatives in education, healthcare, and physiological support. With our partners, we'll publish joint statement with key partners to emphasize our determination to face this crisis together and our willingness to be monitored by investigations and the public. We will provide support and resources to help them respond to inquiries and invite them to join our social responsibility programs. Internally, we'll hold an employee meeting where our crisis manager will explain the situation and our actions. We'll conduct training on social responsibility and ethics and keep employees informed through our internet and email to prevent misunderstanding or fear. We'll also encourage employees to share our stance and measures on social media and become ambassadors of our brand. With government and regulatory, we will proactively engage with the government and regulatory authorities in country B, providing relevant information and cooperating fully with investigations from organizations like the ILO and UNICEF. To the media, we release timely information to prevent over-exaggeration and inaccurate reporting. Our general manager will hold a press conference to demonstrate our determination to solve the problem and continue communicating our positive actions and commitment to social responsibility. About our timeline, we have divided into 3 parts. In the initial period, we'll release a public statement, publish key messages on our website and social media, and notify our employee internally. We'll hold a press conference and detail the incident and corrective measures, and our crisis manager will conduct interviews with key media. In the midterm, we'll update the information via social media and our website, conduct staff training, and release internal memos. We'll communicate with key customers and partners, continue media cooperation, and release in-depth report. In the long term, we'll regularly publish process and third-party investigation results, announce our public welfare actions and rebranding plans, and maintain transparent communication with all stakeholders. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Daniel. For the last part, I want to talk about the corrective action Abibas has taken in the post-crisis stage to address the child labor issue and restore our reputation. First, we will strengthen our supplier management system. We will implement an advanced screening mechanism, conducting thorough background checks on all potential suppliers, focusing on labor practices, ethical standards, and compliance with international regulations like ILO conventions. Suppliers must submit documentation, such as payroll records and worker contracts, and undergo on-site inspections before partnership approval. We will also conduct unannounced audits at least twice a year using a dedicated audit team. Detailed audit reports will be accessible to stakeholders, including NGO and investors. Suppliers found concealing violations will face fine equivalent to 200% of their contract value and permanent inclusion in an industry-wide blacklist. Second, we will focus on reputation restoration and trust building. We will launch community rehabilitation programs, building free public schools with vocational training centers in affected regions. We will hire parents of former child laborers in compliant factories, offering wages 20% above local standards, and provide monthly nutritional subsidies to affected children until they reach 18 years old. We will also collaborate with UNICEF on child welfare projects, including scholarship and healthcare support. Campaign highlighting Abibas' commitment to ethical labor practices and environmental sustainability will be launched. Additionally, we will publish annual ESG reports to transparently track our progress on labor rights and sustainability goals. Third, Abibas will revamp our internal governance and culture. We will conduct mandatory quarterly training for procurement and supply chain teams, covering ethical sourcing principles, identifying red flags in supplier relationships, and illegal obligation under international child labor laws. Training materials will be updated annually to reflect regulatory changes. We will also implement accountability mechanisms, including a confidential reporting system for employees to flag unethical practices without fear of retaliation. A cross-departmental committee will investigate reported issue within 72 hours. In conclusion, Abibas is committed to taking these corrective actions to address the issue we have faced. We believe that through these efforts, we can restore trust, improve our operations, and contribute to a better future for all. And that's all for our crisis communication plan. Thank you.